We are back!
Welcome back to our channel, everybody, and thank you for joining us once again. So for today's video, we were thinking back to our Sunday upload, our recent Sunday upload, and there was a story about a child who knew things and recognised a picture of somebody who had passed away in their family. And it had us thinking that there must be more stories out there like this. So
we kind of wanted to find out what weird things children had come out with that creeped people the effers out.
We've found a few threads where people have shared their stories and we want to read them with you guys. So
before we get into it though, be sure to get yourself a brew.
Turn off the lights.
Let's hear some creepy shit that kids have come out with.
Okay, story number 1.
Numero uno.
In a time when my life was falling apart, I was eating lunch with my then 4-year-old daughter and she said, "This isn't the same dimension, is it?"
Wait, what?
And then someone's responded, "This is creepy. My 3-year-old also talks about tall space people. He tells me tall people with no face come in the window and take him to a galaxy. He's 3. He uses the word galaxy specifically. Of course, this creeps me right the F out. I'm not one for imaginary friends and space aliens and such. And as far as I know, my kid has never been exposed to the things he talks about. It's very unnerving. My kid and I both tend to have bad dreams and wake up at the same time as well. Weird."
Hang on. Creepy people, tall creepy people with no faces. Do you know who that sounds like? Slenderman. Tall,
Yeah.
creepy,
Yeah.
faceless man stealing kids.
But you hear about these people who are called starseeds.
Go on.
Starseeds are like, I think, I might be wrong, but starseeds are like people on Earth who've been sent from space or something. Somebody tell me what about this if I'm wrong. It's something to do with like a being that's come to Earth, but they're actually from another part of the universe.
No way.
I think so. I'll Google it.
That is weird. That's weird.
I know.
But yeah, I definitely think Slenderman's been trying to steal that kid for a little while now. Next one. My son was 2. He was in a pattern of waking up at about 5 a.m. every morning. One morning, I took him downstairs and plopped him in front of the TV.
You can actually visualise a tired mum just being like, "Plop." Oh, Dad.
Whack on CBeebies. So I could try to go back to sleep for about 30 minutes on the couch, right by him, in brackets.
Fair.
I woke up a few minutes later and he was standing in the foyer, pointing into the kitchen, laughing. He then said, "Mummy is floating in the kitchen."
What?
This is giving me like Exorcist vibes. I didn't think much of it and went back to sleep for a bit. You wouldn't, would you? You just wouldn't. You just wouldn't think about it. About 30 minutes later, his mum came downstairs, having just woken up.
It was a dad then.
Ah, yes. Saying she had one of those weird dreams where she flew out of her body, went downstairs and found herself in the kitchen.
Shut the front door. What?
She's had an out-of-body experience and the kid's seen her.
Mummy, what are you doing up there? That's mint.
That's weird.
Wow.
That's touched me in the creepy bits.
Right.
I'm excited for the next one. I never knew kids were so like
Telling you.
not psychotic, psychic. Some kids are psychotic.
It's very different.
Some kids are psychotic.
My kid was in the bathtub one night with the bathroom door open and I was pottering around in the next room. She called out and said, "Hey, Mommy, who's that blue guy who just walked down the hall?"
Wait, nah. She
said he was tall and thin and featureless, like the shape of those men on the bathroom door, like at a restaurant. Creeped me out. That's 2 faceless people that have...
Wait, Slenderman's real. We've just confirmed it. Slenderman is real.
Stop.
No, Slenderman's real. He's going to come and get your kids.
He'll come and get you, Ben. You are like my kids sometimes.
One time, me and my family were riding home from a trip to the park and we pull into McDonalds to get some grub. Great shout.
Yeah.
I was in the back next to my sister. My mum was in the front passenger, Dad in the driver's seat. My sister was still learning to talk and couldn't pronounce her R's and such, the few times she did talk. We are sitting in the drive-thru while my dad orders. My sister was in her car seat, hiding under the blanket and giggling.
Oh.
My mother turns around and looks at her lovingly. She says, playfully, "Now where is my daughter?" My sister yanks the blanket down violently and responds in a deep, guttural, growl-like voice.
"Your daughter is gone."
Oh my God! That's horrific and hilarious!
What's hilarious about it? There's nothing hilarious.
Can you imagine a little girl being like, "Your daughter is gone"?
What, one that can barely talk? It continues. She perfectly enunciated every word. No speech impediment whatsoever.
No.
The look she gave my mother wasn't human. She had lost the cute twinkle in her eyes in that moment. Her face had this menacing, almost predatory grin. I honestly just about shit myself out of fear. Has anyone else had an experience even close to this?
That's mint.
No, that's not
the
mint.
Haunted drive-through.
Hang about, no.
I hear it.
So we've confirmed Slenderman and the devil in this video. Kids have confirmed it. Hashtag confirmed. Okay.
A little late, but I have a good one.
Oh.
When my oldest brother was 3 or 4, he fell into my cousin's pool. The pool didn't have a ladder and was several inches to reach to get out. No way for a 3-year-old that has ever swum in his life to escape. Well, while all the adults were talking, they hear him screaming and splashing and then silence. When they ran to get him, he was standing right next to the pool and he was soaking wet. When they asked him what happened, he said, "I fell in the pool and I couldn't get out. Then a shiny man pulled me out." That one will always give me shivers. That was an angel. I'm calling it an angel.
It was God.
It might have been God. So that was somebody there that was like, that saved that child then. That's incredible. I love that. I feel like that was a wholesome story there.
Slenderman, the devil, and God.
God, we've got a bit of everything.
Oh, I'm going to be religious by the end of this. It was nap time for my 3-year-old son. He went and slept for about an hour and tried opening his bedroom door. He said in his little voice, "Open the door."
Nice.
Do you like my little voice?
Like it.
Yeah? I told him to go back to bed and I hear this creepy deep voice yell,
"Open the door."
Open the door! I'll do the creepy voice, you do the creepy.
It's not Johnny Vegas. Like he was possessed or something. I ran to the door only to find my son standing there looking at me. So creepy. I have goosebumps thinking about it now.
That's weird. That is weird.
Do you reckon kids can actually get possessed like for a temporary period of time to like try to get their point across?
I don't know. Maybe they like reach within themselves and find their internal Hulk.
What? So a 2-year-old
I'm joking.
with no vocabulary can in a Hulk?
I was joking.
Can project.
That's just
Such a clear and creepy sentence. And of all the sentences to project, why would it have to be menacing and demonic? Why couldn't they go, "I want an ice cream"? Why has it got to be creepy? You never hear of a child of like 1-year-old that can't talk go, "I want a lollipop."
Tell you what would be the creepiest thing.
What?
Like your kid like coming out with like a new voice, like what they've just described, but it being like a recognisable one. Like, can you imagine if it was like Trump or something? China. Can you imagine? You'd be like, can you imagine?
Do that again.
No. China. China.
Man, I'm the one that needs Botox this video.
The rare occasions in which small children have alluded to having violent experiences that led to previous deaths freaks me the F out. The most detailed one I ever heard was actually delivered second-hand through my friend's mother. Apparently, beginning around the time my friend could form sentences until he was little more than 2, he would go on and on about how he was a Native American named Conchin, and that after his wife and son got sick and died, he moved to a mountain to live by himself with a horse. He died of a broken neck when he fell into a ravine. Weird man.
Wait, hang on. So this child or the mother recollected this?
No, the child was telling the mother.
Bruh.
And then the mother passed it on to the person who's telling the story.
Man, that's weird. That's weird.
That's really cool.
Why are you not, like, spooked by this? But, like, I'm here like we're never having children in case something like this happens. Like, what if David uses our child as a conduit? Like, it comes out of the womb and it's like, David. And I'll be like, yeet.
David's the godparent.
I'll be like, yeet.
Ben.
I babysit my little cousin all the time. The 4-year-old was in the sandbox stirring up some stuff in a bucket. I ask her, what are you making, Mia? She looks at me with a straight face and says, unicorn blood. And then goes back to stirring.
Okay.
I just kept thinking, I'm babysitting Voldemort. I think that's just an overactive child's imagination, that one. Let's put it down to that.
Babysitting he who shall not be named.
Yet they always name.
I have a similar story. Well, not in the way, but in the afterlife sense. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm intrigued. Between the ages of 2 and 6, my son would tell me the same story of how he picked me to be his mother. Oh, I think that's beautiful.
Lovely.
He said something about being with a man in a suit and picking a mother that would help him accomplish his soul's mission. I'm atheist, so we didn't discuss spirituality at that point, nor was he raised in any sort of religious environment. Love this. I love that. That's so like... I love that because there's no influence then.
Yeah, but... Oh, yeah, because that just beckons the question of how does this kid know about his soul and his life mission?
Yeah. The way he described it was that it was similar to grocery shopping, that he was in a bright room with people who were lined up like dolls, and that he picked me. The man in the suit asked him if he was sure, he replied that he was, and then he was born.
Could you imagine if that was the case? Could you imagine this is how it works?
My son also had an early fascination with World War II era planes. He could identify them, the parts, what region they were used in, and the like. I still have no idea where he got that information. I'm a science gal, his dad is a math guy. We have always called him Grandpa because of his peaceful and gingerly demeanour. This kid seriously had an old soul. He's been here before.
He's lived a life.
I completely understand that old soul thing. You meet babies and children and toddlers and whatever, and you're like, you've been here before, like You know what life's about. Yeah, but like naturally, you just know they've been here before. You just know.
You would because you're proper empathetic. Like you just get the vibe. You just ride that vibe.
But you guys, I bet there's people out there. Let us know. You guys will know what I mean. When you meet a person like a little one, and you're like, they just know they've been here before. Right,
last one. Are you ready?
I am. Are you?
While playing classroom with my 3-year-old brother, he made an offhanded comment about being in my mother's belly twice. I was amused and said, "Oh, really?" He proceeded to tell me in amazing detail being inside our mother.
What?
He told me about it being warm and that he liked it, but he always felt sick. One day he got so sick that they, in quotes, came and told him he had to leave.
Oh.
He didn't want to, so they told him he would get to come back again and back to our mum.
Oh my God.
So he left and they let him come back again, and this time he didn't feel sick. I lost my mind and started screaming for my mother. He told her the same story, and after she stopped crying, we were allowed to talk about it.
Okay.
I was 10 and I was old enough to remember that she had a miscarriage almost 1 year before my brother was born.
What?
Side note, I'm not religious, but my mother always kind of makes me wonder.
Wow. So I saw a psychic once, and she said to me that sometimes when you lose a baby, the spirit world are already kind of anticipating it, even though you didn't want it to come. And actually there's some souls that know that they were never meant to be on earth at that time, and that they like accept that it was just
not their time.
Yeah. And she said, she kind of alluded to it being like a case of like you on earth have to experience your loss and they're kind of there to help you with that, but they were never meant to actually be on the earth.
So that's their
I don't
purpose.
know. Yeah, I don't, like their purpose is to kind of. So I found that really, really interesting. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with that or not? I find that was such an incredible story.
Yeah, but what I want to know is who's they?
Yeah.
Is it like
the man in the suit from the other story?
Is it the man
with
in the suit?
The lineup of mums.
Or is it the guy in light that kind of saved that kid? Is that they?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh.
Was it a shiny guy?
Was it Slenderman?
I doubt it.
So that has been a little compilation of some of the weirdest things, like spiritually, that kids have come out with.
What really intrigues me about this is that children are very black and white. What they say is what they think, and there's no filter. It's how they feel, and it's very spontaneous. And I find it why I find it interesting is because it's literally out of the mouths of babes. They'll just say it as they say. They'll say it as they say it, and I just find it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My thought process behind it is, you know, when you get older, you learn to filter certain things out and you block certain things out of your life.
Yeah, maybe.
As children, maybe you haven't learned that skill yet, so therefore you don't know the difference between what you're seeing being a spirit or if it's a real world thing.
I agree.
Do you know? Am I making sense there?
I think so too. I definitely think that children are far more connected. Maybe it's because they're newer to the spiritual realm, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Mind boggles.
So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, we would love it if you could give us a thumbs up. Maybe if you haven't yet, we'd love to have you part of our lovely family. You can always subscribe and you can hit the bell notification.
Caress it.
A bit like this when Ben talks about tickling it. And then you will be notified of our uploads. We do upload 3 times a week on a Sunday, a Tuesday and a Thursday at 8 p.m. We'd love to see you back here. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about this video.
And if you've got any stories where maybe your child's come up to you and said something that's completely taken you off guard, then be sure to come and let us know on our social medias. It's at Lainey and Ben on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter and Facebook. We'd love to hear your stories.
All that's left to say now is thank you so much for watching. We appreciate every single one of you, absolute beauties, and
peace.